Hey, good afternoon, everyone, or morning, or evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm Richard Byrne, and thank you for joining me for take two of 3 strategies for remote instructional technology support. I know it's kind of a mouthful of a title, but it was accurate, I think. So I like to go for accurate, if not short. Anyway, this is advice for stressed tech coaches and IT staff and other people like me who may not be officially a tech coach or officially the IT department, but everyone is virtually running down the hall or emailing you to look for your help and your support right now using instructional technology. If that sounds like you, if you're the IT person, an instructional coach, an IT coach, or just the person that everyone seems to be going to right now, say hi in the chat or in the Q&A function and say hello. We're using GoToWebinar today, which is a platform I've used for the last 10 years. It works fantastic 99.9% of the time, which it should because it costs a heck of a lot of money. All right, so let's get right into today's topic. All right. So a little background on me for those who may have just ended up here randomly without knowing who I am. I was a high school social studies teacher for the better part of a decade. Actually, before that, I worked for FedEx as a corporate trainer briefly. I've been a consultant to schools all over the world, spoken at tech conferences, and I'm a dad to a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old little girl who are hopefully napping right now, which is why I am now back in the part of the reason why I'm back in the classroom now on a full-time basis teaching computer science so that I can be home and not on the road quite so much as I used to be. And I'm pretty well known for a couple of websites that I started as well. But the focus of all of my work really has been, yes, it is being recorded. It is being recorded. Andrea says hello. Tricia says hello from Wisconsin. Cool. The focus of all my work is to give practical solutions and ways to use technology in meaningful ways for us and for our students. All right, so logistics of the webinar today. Everything you see is being recorded. Please use that chat function or that Q&A function to say hello and ask questions throughout the webinar. And at the end, I do have a special little offer for some of you who may be interested in working with me on an ongoing basis later this summer or next fall. So I'll talk about that. The webinar itself is going to be about half theory and half actual how-to, actual step-by-step how to do some of the things that I'm going to talk about. All right. So who's ready to get started? Are we ready? Hello from England, says Chris. Wow, it's evening there. It's 6 p.m. Right? Must be 6 p.m. there. All right. So let's get started. Here we go. Oh, helps if I click the right button. There you go. So I've got 3 big ideas for today. 3 big concepts that I've been really trying to keep in the back of my mind over the last couple of weeks, or really the last month now. My school has been shut down for a month. We went home on Friday the 13th of March and never came back. And probably a lot of you are the same way. And so for the last month, really, I've been trying to keep these 3 big ideas in mind of, trying to keep IT, hello from Michigan, trying to keep IT as human as possible, right? So that's to keep it human, right? Keep IT human. I think a lot of times we end up, particularly if your school has a dedicated help desk or tech support desk, a lot of times people think that they're just emailing a robot and they're not actually emailing you, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about recognizing the different kinds of ways that we all learn, different learning styles for all of us. And I also want to talk about how we might capitalize on this situation, our current situation, and inspire some curiosity and build confidence as we go forward now and into the future whenever school gets back to normal. And I saw another question just popped in there. Oh, Nebraska is here. All right, hello Peg from Nebraska. Cool. So we have people all over the world. This is fantastic. All right. So let's get into this one. Let's start with keeping it human, or keeping IT human. One of the big things that I need to stress, I feel like we all need to stress this, is just taking care of yourself. And a big part of that is creating a plan for not only your day to day, but your week, right? Looking at your big picture versus your fire extinguisher, right? Uh, and we're gonna look at some tools you can use to kind of automate some of this in a kind way, right? In a way that makes people feel like you're not putting them on the back burner, but also making sure that you're prioritizing what needs to be prioritized. Okay? So that you're not chasing your tail all day long and just putting out fires, because we all have some big picture stuff we need to work on, right? And let's recognize the stress and of this for everyone, right? Not only for us, but a lot of those emails we're getting, or those Slack requests, if you use Slack, or maybe that text message. I've gotten text messages from my colleagues like, Chromebook's not working. Like, my Chromebook video won't work. Like, okay, I got that yesterday. My webcam wouldn't work. I'm like, okay, that's a really stressful thing, particularly for a teacher who hasn't really done any web conferencing before, or hasn't really used technology much before. It can be a big stressor. So it goes both ways. Right? I recognize that. So I hate to prescribe what you have to do, but this is what I've been doing that's really been working for me over the last few weeks to make sure that I'm because I get requests not only from my own colleagues at the school that employs me on a full-time basis, but also everybody on the internet who's looking for help from me. My mailing list has 31,000 people on it, so when I send out my Sunday night newsletter, the responses I get flooding in are, it fills up my inbox pretty darn quickly. And so I actually turn my notifications off on my phone before email, because otherwise it dings all night long. My wife is like, who is texting you at 2 a.m, right? So I turn those things off. But I have a plan every day. Right? My plan every day really looks like this. It honestly looks like this. I have my list of my big picture stuff. Okay? And I skip my email, I skip my Facebook, I skip all my social media until I've got that plan written out. One of the nice things that my school director has done for all of us really is he does ask us to write out the plan that we're doing every day. Right? What are we doing to help our students every day? And so I just I do that. I already do that. I'm just continuing on, right? So, it structures the day. Follow that plan. For me, part of my plan is I'm going to do all my tutorial stuff that I have planned in the morning before I start tackling those little requests that have been popping in, right? So part of my plan is I'm making those tutorials. All of my classes are also in the morning. I have a class at 8 a.m. and I have a class at 10:30 a.m. that I do Google Meets with, or Google Hangout Meet events with on at those times. So I've got those blocked out, and I don't deal with anything except for true emergencies until after all that stuff is done. And this is a big one, and I just alluded to it. Set a shutdown time, because there's always going to be one more thing, and stick to it again unless it's true emergency. Okay? So to that end, prioritizing the request and how I'm going about it right now. Okay? One of the things that I've done is I've set up autoresponders. Okay? I have an autoresponder set up that lets people know I'm not ignoring you and I want to help you, but there is a priority to it. And I'll show you that. I'll screen share that with you in just a moment here, how I've actually structured that. Part of that is using some filters and labels. Now, I'm in a G Suite for Education school, so I use Gmail. Okay? But you can do this if you're a Microsoft school, you can do the same thing. You have filters and labels to prioritize, right? One of the things that I do is I have a filter set up to prioritize things for my students. Okay? You could also set up filters based on keyword. Okay? So if it has, you could have a whole thing set up for a Chromebook, right? Or a whole filter set up to catch anything with the word video in it, right? So that okay, this person needs help with a video, or this person needs help with the Chromebook, or this person needs help with their webcam, right? Whatever keywords you want to use those, right? And then prioritize based on, oh, did I get 35 requests for help with Google Classroom or 35 requests for help with a Chromebook? That better be what I tackle first. And that might be a big picture thing for the next day of, okay, I need to make this tutorial because everyone seems to be struggling with this topic. I also want to try to model the kind of email that I want to get. Okay? So when I'm replying to emails, one of my pet peeves for emails coming into me is people who just jump in and say, "Hey, help me with this," or "I need you to do this for me right now." Right? They skip all the salutations. Right? They skip the "Hi, Richard" or "Hi, Mr. Byrne." They skip that part and just go boom right into their request. Now, for some of us, with some of our colleagues, that's okay, right? My friend Pete, who teaches auto mechanics, we have lunch together every day. I know his tone, right? I know his tone. I know where he's coming from. If he just says, "Hey, can you help me with X, Y, or Z?" and skips the "Hey, Richard," I'm okay with that because we talk all the time. The person who hasn't talked to me all school year but suddenly needs something from me, who jumps into that, it's like, I don't feel as good about that. So when I reply, I just say, "Hey, Kim," or "Hey, Kathy," or "Hey, Bob," or "Hey, hi, Bob, I'm happy to help," right? I just try to model that stuff. And, this last piece, I'm going to show you right now, include some FAQ resources in your autoresponders. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second here because I'm going to open up my email, and I want to make sure that I don't have anything on the screen that doesn't need to be shown to everyone. Let's just say that. Right. I'm also showing my free tech for teachers inbox. I'm not going to show my school inbox because I don't want a chat message popping up from a student right now. So here we go. Put my screen back up. All right. So everyone should see my screen again. And I'm in my autoresponders down here. Okay. You can see there, I've got my vacation responder. I can turn it on or off, right? Now this one I haven't used in a couple of weeks now. Okay? But when I was getting really, truly overwhelmed and swamped, this is what I was sending out. "Thank you for reaching out to me. I'm overwhelmed at this moment, and I'm doing my best. Replies to messages might be delayed," right? And I do have a few resources that might offer the answer you're looking for. Those are linked below. Okay? So put those in place. Okay? You could put those in place where people know, hey, I'm not ignoring you, but this isn't priority number one in my day right now. Okay? But here are some things that I think might be able to help you while you wait for me to get back to you. Just kind of humanizes it a little bit. Okay? And I got some people who responded to my autoresponder with, "Thank you, that solved my problem." Like, great. Right? I automated a little bit of that humanity, made my life a little better, made their life a little better. Win, win, win. Okay? Yes. No, I'm not going to quote The Office. Good point. All right. So that's concept number one, making IT human. Okay? And remember, just take that break when you need it. Right? Step away. Last Thursday I had spent a long time working on a tutorial for some faculty at my school. I'd made a video the day before. People wrote back and said, I still don't quite understand. So I was making annotated screenshots. It took me a long time to get them in the right sequence and get it all. And I was fried. It was Thursday afternoon. I was fried. Someone emailed me and said, I still don't get it. And I knew it was a person who doesn't have the greatest tech skills. So I was like, you know what? I'll get back to you in the morning. It's late. I've been up since 5. It's late afternoon. I've been up since 5 a.m. I'll get back to you in the morning. Right? You know, just say, you know what? I'm going to help you, but you know, I'm not going to spend all 12 hours of my day dealing with just one problem. All right. So idea number 2, and this has been a challenge for me at times with doing professional development or with helping my colleagues, trying to honor all learning styles, right? Just like I would do in the classroom with my high school students, or you might do in your classroom with your elementary students or whatever students. We're trying to honor the learning styles. Some people are going to want video. Some people want annotated screenshots. Some people just need a quick 2 or 3 line email and their problem is solved. And other people might need a little bit more give and take, back and forth. They need a little bit more live instruction where they can ask you questions like this one. Some of you will probably ask me questions when I do the next demo. So to set this up, to try to honor these different learning styles, I like to offer some self-selection resources if possible. If you have a help desk website or a staff resources page, divide it out by sections of types of materials. Do a video section, do a section for PDFs, do a section for schedule an appointment with me. Let people kind of self-select a little bit there. When I did this webinar the other day, somebody suggested making a Google document that just has links in it. You could do that, right? And you could hyperlink within the document. But let people self-select, because sometimes that solves their problem before they have to email you. This next idea, I'm going to demo this one. These next 2 actually. Create either a Google form or a Microsoft form to help people identify what they need. A lot of times folks don't even know exactly what they need. Having done this sort of thing for 15 years now, I've seen it. What year is it? 2020? 15 years of doing these sorts of things to help either my colleagues or other people around the world. A lot of times people don't know what they're looking for until they see it. Okay? It's like that old, what was that old song? You don't know what you got till it's gone. It's kind of the reverse of that, right? People need help identifying what it is they need before they can even really articulate what they're asking you for. And like I said, some people need that one-on-one help. So let's take a look at a few ways that you can do this. So I have here a Google form, and I should point out you can do this same thing in Microsoft Forms. It just happens to be that my school uses G Suite for Education, therefore I do everything in Google stuff. But you can do this exact same thing in Microsoft Forms, the same kind of setup. So what I've done here, and by the way, has anyone else done something similar to this? Be happy to know if other people are doing this. I set up this forum called Finding Tech Help. And you can see here, it just simply says, what kind of help do you need? And then I have these different sections. So let's take a look at it. There's a preview for it. Actually, I'll send it out. Let me get a link right there. I'll put it in the chat for anyone who wants to try it themselves right now and see how it works. Oh, Andrea's done this. Cool. All right. Awesome, Andrea. Andrea, by the way, what part of Connecticut are you from? I grew up in Connecticut. I grew up in Manchester. Don't hold that against me. Right. So let's see how this form works, right? Okay, what kind of help do you need? Oh, I need help with Google Hangouts Meet. Hit the next button, right? And now I've dropped in a couple of videos here. All right, you can watch these videos. Do you need help with something else? Yes, no. Right. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. And now we're back to the selector at the beginning. Oh, okay, cool. Andrea met me at Castle last year. I love Castle. I've been to Castle 3 times now, and I enjoy that conference. All right. So we'll go back here. All right, make an instructional video. One of the things that some people don't realize about Google Forms, probably a lot of people in here know this, but you might not. You can include hyperlinks in your descriptions of things. So here in my Finding Tech Help making an instructional video, try Flipgrid for making a screencast, I've dropped in that video, but I've also linked into additional video resources. Need help with something else? Yes, I do. Next. And down here, oh, do we need something else? Oh, I do need something else. It's not listed up here. So what that takes you to is, I'm sorry, at this time, I don't have any other tutorials handy. Please feel free to send an email or book an online appointment with me for one-on-one help. You can book that appointment right here. Yeah. Oh, cool. And Andrea says she's going to put those videos right in the form. Start doing that herself. Cool. So here I've put into this form, under something else, you can go and schedule an appointment with me. Okay? And it takes you right to my appointment scheduling page, okay? Which again is set up with Google Calendar. Okay? You can do similar things with Microsoft products, by the way. But again, I'm just using Google Calendar. So I'm going to say, boom, I want that appointment. Okay? And say, please help me with, making a podcast. Okay. Okay. And now they've booked that appointment with me. Okay. And so now I can follow up with that person and say, okay, at 12:30, I'm going to set aside some time with you to do a Google Hangout or do a Zoom, and I'll screen share and I'll walk you through that process, right? So follow up with that person. So really quick way to kind of organize those things. So I'm going to show you how to set up one of these. I'll do an abbreviated version of this. Do an abbreviated version, and then we'll take a look at the appointment scheduling capabilities as well. And let's go with that for now. All right. So if I'm going to make a Google form, pardon me while I have my 10th cup of coffee for the morning. It's snowing and raining here right now. It's snaining, and it's a miserable day to be outside. So nice day for hot coffee. All right. So let's make my blank Google form. So let's start here. We'll just call it Tech Help for my friends. So let's set this up. And I'm going to set it up with, what can I help you with today? What can I help you with? All right, so I'll just set it up in 2 parts here. You can add as many sections as you like. For the sake of brevity, I'll keep it to 2 sections. Okay. Google Classroom, Google Hangouts Meet, and something else. Okay. So let's go and add in my section now. Call this a section for Google Classroom. And we'll add in a video. One of the things I like about Google Forms, besides being able to do a direct link into a video I know about, I can do a video search. I'll just do a quick video search, getting started with Google Classroom. I see a question popped in here. Oh, no, not a question, a statement. Severe storms in Philly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so good idea. You can add your Google form to your autoresponder. That's a great idea. So we can do that. All right, getting started. Now let's do one other section. And Google Hangouts Meet. And again, as you saw before, you can add as many as you like, many videos as you like. Google Hangouts Meet. There we go. Add that one in. Shameless plug, that's my own video. Okay. Check this video for getting started. And then my last section here is something else, right? Just right, you know, I'm sorry, don't have any more tutorials available. Please schedule an appointment for help. Okay. And I'll put in that link to my calendar as my appointment calendar. Just put that right in there. Okay. All right. So now to set up these sections, okay, so that it actually goes from section to section based on people's choices. Go next down. Go next to the required button. Put in go to section based on answer. Go to classroom. Classroom. Hangouts Meet. Something else. Something else. Now, the one thing that I've done to make it possible for people to cycle through the form multiple times, as opposed to just getting that one section and then ending, is at the end of each section, I've added in a question. Oh, didn't mean to put it there. Put it here. Do you need more help? Let's add yes and no. And if it's yes, turn off the, by the way, turn off the required. Otherwise, people won't be able to go all the way through your form without doing every single one of these questions. Right? So go to section based on answer, go back to the beginning. Yep. Nope. Okay, submit the form. Okay. And again, can do that same process again throughout. Okay. So let's duplicate that. And do it one more time. Need something else? Okay. Yes or no? Yes and no. And boom, boom. All right. So you get the idea of how I set this all up. And now we can send that out and let people use that. It works the exact same way. Now, of course, you could put this into your autoresponder, like Andrea suggested. You could put this into your tech help website or your staff resources website, and you can keep updating it. Like, you know, you can start it today, and you run out of time today. You know, go back and add more stuff in tomorrow, right? Because it, like almost all Google things, it is self-updating. Right? If you update on your end, it's going to update wherever you've shared it and posted it as well. So let's take a look at a couple other little things here. This last piece, yep, it's presenting. This is a third big idea I've got, is to try to inspire curiosity. I don't think as tech people as techies, whatever you want to call us, we're never going to be this popular again. Right now, we are probably all getting emails from people who have never talked to us before, but work in our building, right? Does that describe you? Right? If you've gotten an email from someone who's never talked to you before in the last week or 2 weeks, let me know. Right? Give me a yes in that chat or a yes in that Q&A. Right? We are super popular all of a sudden. I'm loving all the attention, right? People say, right? But on a serious note, this is a great opportunity to get people to think about what's possible moving forward. Because a lot of PD that is based around technology too often ends up being a one-day workshop at the beginning of the school year on how to use Microsoft Teams or how to use, whatever, pick your tool, Google Classroom, or how to use X, Y, or Z, how to use Seesaw, whatever. And we say, okay, everyone does the workshop and have a good school year, right? And we call that our tech PD. Right? And we all know that unless you get lots of practice, you're not going to really change a whole lot of your practice, right? That makes sense? Unless you get a lot of practice with the tech, you're not going to change your teaching practice that much. Right? Well, right now, everyone is being forced to change their teaching practice and use the technology. So now that they're getting this practice, this is a great opportunity to get people to start thinking about, maybe not this week, but maybe in May, right? Maybe the end of the school year, once you've gotten through this really hard adjustment, get people to think about what can we do next time? Right? Now that we've built this base of skills, what can we do next? I was emailing with my school director this morning because we were talking about, well, we don't have a snow day to worry about, right? And he said, yeah, perhaps now we won't ever have a snow day again. Right? If we can get everybody on board with this for the long term, we may never need another snow day, which would be great. We'd be able to get out of school at the end of May instead of, the end of June here in Maine. So think about these opportunities. Can you build confidence? Right? Teachers are going to get some more confidence out of this. So are students. Right? Hopefully. Use this as a chance to gather some really important feedback. Right? Get examples both good and bad. Right? Some of the best insights I've gotten over the years have come from people who are really upset. Like, this is not upset, like mad at me, but like are super frustrated. Like, it didn't work the way you showed it in the workshop, or it didn't work the way that it was advertised on the website, X, Y, or Z. That's going to give us a lot of opportunity to say, okay, this is what works, this is what didn't work in our school situations. And this last little piece is just try to be supportive. I've dropped into a few virtual classes that some of my colleagues are having just to be that backup. I work in a vocational school, a technical/vocational school. We have a plumbing teacher who is, being forced all of a sudden to teach online, teach with virtual meetings. And, so I've dropped in a couple of times to just be that kind of backup person, right? So they don't get too flustered. Give that support, just like you would in the classroom. If you're a tech coach who drops into a classroom to help with the 5th grade lesson, you can do the same thing virtually. Right? So before you go, I've got a couple of things. I'm going to do one more demo, and I'll talk to you about that for those of you who stick around. One of my favorite tools of 2019, and now we're into 2020, but probably this is in the top 2. This is one of my 2 favorite new tools in 2019. The other one was a service called GetNote. But this is the other one. It's Glide Apps. Who's used Glide Apps? Anyone using Glide Apps or tried Glide Apps? we've got 32 people in here still, so that's not bad. Half of the people who registered actually came today. Yes. Oh, Dino says yes. Okay. Dino, do you like it? I love it. I think it's a really, really slick tool. So here's what it does. Glide apps will take any spreadsheet that you have. Yeah, very easy to use, Dino says. Yeah, yes, very easy to use. Glide apps will take any spreadsheet you have in Google Sheets, any Google spreadsheet you have, and turn it into a mobile app or a mobile-friendly website for you. They call it a mobile app, but it's not actually on the App Store, right? It's just a mobile-friendly website. But it's really slick. Here's how it works. So, oh, Isabel says, yes, I want to learn more about it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm scrolling back and missing a couple of questions and comments there. Sorry. So here's how it works. You can see a little demo I put together here. I called it my Tech Help app. So everything happens in your spreadsheet. All your big changes happen in your spreadsheet. So create a Google spreadsheet or multiple sheets within your sheet, which is what I've done here. I've got a sheet for Google Classroom down here at the bottom, and I've got a sheet for make instructional videos. And I've put in the header of function, description, and video. You can put in more headers if you like, and then you would have more content displayed in your app. But to keep it simple, I just went function, description, video. Function in Google Classroom, create a quiz. My description is you can create a self-grading quiz directly from the assignments section of Google Classroom. And then I just linked into a video. I did the same thing over here. Screencast with Flipgrid, latest feature, video, use Wakelet to make a video. Here's a fun little feature and the video. So now in Glide apps, I've set up that spreadsheet. I'm going to go and say create an app from Google Sheets. It's going to pull from my connected Google account. There it is. My Tech Help app. Could have also pulled an accounting report, as it turns out, but I didn't. So now I have on my screen here a very basic look of what this app will look like. So I have the header here of Google Classroom. You can create a self-grading quiz. This will show you 3 methods of sharing documents. So create a quiz, how to share documents. Down here at the bottom, we have make instructional videos. This is the latest feature in Flipgrid, screencast, use Wakelet to make a video. Now, over here on the right-hand side, we have this properties tab, and we can say for our title, I'm going to switch my title to be the function of create a quiz. And my details will be description. You can create a quiz. And likewise, I'll do the same thing for make instructional videos. This is the latest feature in Flipgrid. Let's change that to function and description. Now, it's asking me about images. Had I put in an image header and links to images in the spreadsheet, those would be displayed as icons as opposed to just these initials. Now we can change the layout if you like. Okay, so we can change those layouts. Now let's take a look at what my app would actually look like. So that share button, okay, publish the app. Let's copy that, and I'll just show you quickly. Here's what it looks like. Okay. Now, anybody can scan that QR code and look at my app. This app is public right now. It'll work on your Android phone, it'll work on your iPhone, and of course, it'll function right here in the web page as well. Because it really is just a mobile, very mobile-friendly website. They call it an app. It's not truly an app. It's a very mobile-friendly website, and that clicks them through to that video. So, yeah, it's Glide Apps. And so it's another way to provide that self-supporting tech help that a lot of people are looking for. Okay? And again, because yeah, way cool. Was that Verna that just said that? I think that. Sorry, I missed it. Went by really quick on my end. Yeah, Verna just said that. Yeah, way cool. Right? It is I think it's a way cool thing. Because this is done with a Google spreadsheet, if I update my Google spreadsheet, I can refresh this and the app automatically gets refreshed for my users. So if I go in here and say I want to add another Google Classroom tutorial, maybe I'll pull one from my YouTube channel. I'll do one more Google Classroom video. Okay, so I'll do, what do I have for Google Classroom real quick? Sorry. How to use PDFs in Google Classroom. All right, so we'll use that one. I'll go and put it here. Use PDF in Google Classroom. This is neat. All right, it can be more descriptive. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to keep it short there. Okay. Over here on this left-hand side now, I'll reload the spreadsheet. And you'll see, boom, now I have Use PDF in Google Classroom. Automatically updates for me. Oh, so Andrea asked, how do you share the app besides using the QR code? You can just get that link. So in the upper right corner, I have this share button. There's a link to it right here. Just copy that link and then give that link to whoever wants to use it. So you can email it out, post it in Google Classroom, put it on your school website, whatever you want, and people can get that link and open it on their phone, and they'll have it there, and then they can just save it as a favorite on their home screen on their phone. Technically, you could even text it out, I guess, or send it by SMS. I have not tried the text feature or the sharing it by phone number outside of the US. So for my friends who are here from Canada and the UK, use that function at your own risk. I don't know if it'll work outside of the US with the phone number feature, but all the other features will work outside of the US. That I do know. All right, last little bit here. From the Shameless Commerce division of my life, as I mentioned, I do have some support resources for you and your colleagues. I have the Practical EdTech Handbook, which is free. You can find it at bit.ly/top-handbook. It's my 2019-2020. It's about 55 pages of my favorite resources and a bunch of tutorials embedded within it. Feel free to download that and share it with your friends and colleagues. I do have some on-demand webinars that are available from recorded courses I've done in the past, and those are all on sale right now, 25% off. You can check those out at bit.ly/PEPPD2020. And last but not least, if you are looking for someone like me to perhaps come to your school in the fall or to do some virtual training and virtual consulting, feel free to reach out to me. Have laptop, will travel, book me for the fall, risk-free. If we are not going back, if we still can't travel in the fall, well, we can't travel in the fall. No one loses anything. Right? So feel free to take advantage of either of those offers as well. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I am so glad that this version of the webinar went so much better than the last one. Side note, I used GoToWebinar again for this, which I've been using for 10 years. It cost me $200 a month, but it is well worth the money. because it always works, unless there's a power outage. It always works. So thank you so much for being here today. If you have questions, feel free to send me an email. richard@burn.media is my email address, and I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can. Thanks, everyone, and I hope we can get together in real life sometime soon. Thank you, Andrea. Thanks, Isabel. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Jeanette. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dino. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye. Yes, Verna, I will send out the recording for this. There will be a recording available. Yep. Bye-bye.